Welcome inside Maturi Pavilion in Minneapolis. Sloan Martin, Emily Eamon along with you. A closely contested matchup here between number 14 Minnesota, who took set one, and Maryland, a team who dropped that first set by just 4 points, coming out aggressively here in set number two. But it is Minnesota's block looking dominant. That time, though, right off the block for a point for the Terrapins.
Minnesota's block has been the difference in this match so far. They put up 6 stuffs just in the first set alone and added one already here in set two. Maryland needs to do a better job swinging high, just like that last one.
Phoebe Awoleye, you see right there, already with 6 blocks on her own. And Grote, what a swing as she rips it cross court.
Good swing from Lydia Grote up front. Even better handle from McKenna Wooker on the pass, doing a nice job putting Schaffmaster in a good position. When Minnesota's in system, their offense is so tough to stop.
Alex Acevedo at the service line for the Gophers. Targeting Bryant, she will pass and swing. Dowler looking for Schnida, a leader for this team offensively. A scrappy play there. It's going to be a point for Minnesota after that whistle.
One key for both sides has really been who can outlast who defensively. Minnesota's one of the best backcourt defending teams in the entire conference, but Maryland's done a pretty nice job hanging with them so far.
Rohrbach with the violation there, number 17 for Maryland. And that will fall, a point to the Gophers.
Maryland again, just an easy play that can have a roll shot, take out the setter in the backcourt. All of a sudden, you put it right into the block, it's coming right back at you.
Acevedo, 0.35 aces per set, but she can also make it so challenging for the opposing team. It's Polabiuk with the pancake. Schaffmaster will go to Grote, the hot hand for Minnesota right now.
What a rip from Lydia Grote on the right side. This is not a player that you see a lot of off speeds from. She is all power all the time. This started with an incredible pancake. Zayna Polabiuk just flying around the court.
4-0 run for Minnesota with Acevedo at the service line. Again, denial at the net. And Awoleye, a one-woman wrecking crew right at the net for Minnesota, and 8 blocks.
We're not even through 2 sets and she's got 8 blocks already. She is a human brick wall up front.
Incredible dominance by Phoebe Awoleye, top 10 in the conference in blocks per set, and just showing off right now. Gunter with the bump set looking to Schnida, and how about another one?
Rack 'em up. Phoebe Awoleye moving so well to get out to these plays. Check out how far she's pressing over the net. When she's in rhythm, this Minnesota team has been tough to stop. 6-0 scoring run here to start off set two.
For Minnesota up and down this lineup to increase this lead to 9. Grote again, looking to keep it rolling. Schnida from the back row. And a kill for the Terrapins, badly needed here.
Smart decision from Sid Dowler up front to get Schnida going, normally lining up on the right side of the court, bringing her through the middle on a quick attack through the middle rather than the right side.
Now 9 kills for Schnida, hitting 111. And followed by an ace, Rohrbach, the middle blocker.
Rohrbach attacking that seam between Wooker and Polabiuk. More of a miscommunication on Minnesota's side, though. Polabiuk should have stepped in and played this ball.
Targets Wooker this time, leading to the overpass and a quick kill. And Maryland back in business.
Rohrbach doing work from the back line, forcing that overpass. The front line locked and loaded, ready to put it away.
Maryland's identity is aggression at the service line. That's what's feeding their offense right now. Hansen has that deny, but it's kept up. 3 in a row for Hansen, then she snaps it down the line for a kill.
Might not come on the first or second swing. That's what you have to do as an outside attacker. Keep swinging, taking big rips, and everyone else, they have to be into cover. Great ups from Polabiak and Wooker to keep those points alive and allow Hansen more opportunities to swing.
That mentality that's allowed her to have a breakout season. Just 0.64 kills per set last season as a sophomore, now leading this team 3.38. And just talked about going out and swinging, not having those reservations. You see it pay off on those kinds of swings.
And last year, Hansen didn't have many opportunities to take swings, really just playing in the backcourt. This year, now embracing that role of taking bigger swings and having the confidence to do it.
Sam Sire goes up to get it. And it's a kill for Maryland.
This tip much more effective against Minnesota, putting it almost right on the heads or right down the back of the blockers, forcing them to try to make a play on it.
Maryland has settled down really well here. They were trailing by 9 earlier on in this set. Looked like it just wasn't going their way. Minity off the slide has been working well for Minnesota.
Setter Melanie Schaffmaster getting a little bit more rangy in where she's setting this ball from. A little bit off the net, about 7-8 feet, still manages to get that slide attack rolling.
Minnesota continues to be very balanced. Lydia Grove leading the way with 8 kills. Dowler looking for Schnitta, that's sent back. Sire will tool it.
Maryland's doing a much better job in the second half of the second set, swinging high, throwing in tips, not swinging right down into the Minnesota block, because what they found is if they're going into it, it's coming right back at them.
It was a smart timeout by Coach Hughes of the Terrapins, because it seems like from that point, they've been able to settle in this second set. For the back row, Sire. And still in play. Wooker getting the swing. Still kept up, and Minnesota will take the point. All-out effort on both sides.
It's so difficult to have these kind of plays in long rallies. The discipline that it takes to have a block well-formed after 5-6 times the ball has gone over the net, that tells you a lot about Minnesota's block.
This team believes so strongly that it can grind it out, whether it's 5 sets, which they've had 6 of those this season, or long rallies as well. They'll come out on top. Schnitta, a big swing. Look at that effort by the setter and Schaffmaster. Tries to dig it again. Minnesota will get the point. She's mobbed by her teammates for how she sprinted after that ball.
Schaffmaster doesn't get the point on that, but it almost feels like she should, after this kind of hustle play, nearly taken out some fans in the stands. This dig didn't count, but still manages to make that kind of play too. She is so good defensively in the backcourt.
Julia Hansen was asked this week specifically about Schaffmaster's defense. She said she does not get the credit that she deserves for the defense she provides as a setter.
Another block, 13 on the night already for Minnesota. Check out that reaction after the last play. She's like, yeah, I'm really tired.
And at the service line, he's going to execute again. Schnitta right into that block. Polabiak couldn't handle it, and Maryland with the point.
And Polabiak calling Grote off on that play. You could hear from the other side of the gym. Grote just needed to listen a little bit better and let Polabiak have it.
Lily Gunter gets it into play. Hawalea up the middle, another kill for the 5th-year senior, who, by the way, has already tied her career high for blocks in the second set. set alone.
This is exactly what you want from a player like Phoebe Awolea, a fifth year. She transferred in last season from LMU and just been such a difference maker for this Minnesota team. Her play has gotten better and better as the year's gone on.
Just eye-popping numbers from Phoebe Awolea. Their Bryant, a badly needed swing. She had been air-prone tonight. That means Sam Schnitta is back to serve.
These big smiles from Awolea, and you start feeling yourself when you're in a rhythm, whether it's offensively, defensively up front. You have a little bit more pep in your step, jumping a little higher, pressing a little harder. Expect her to keep it going.
Yeah, this is her third stop. She played at Georgia, LMU, her second season in Minnesota. And you just know the pride she has playing in the Big Ten, how it's elevated her game, and the pride that she takes in that skill of blocking. That's hard to really embrace for a lot of players.
It's really difficult, but she's got the good eye work to do it. She's incredibly athletic and is so consistent in her moves and discipline that makes her a good blocker.
She'll sub out right here, and Minity will take over the offensive duties up the middle.
Everything going Minnesota's way so far. The passing has made massive strides since set one. Very balanced attack right now.
That aligns with what we saw against Indiana, maybe the best passing performance for this Minnesota team this season.
Yeah, they passed about 57% in system, which for context, normally the goal is 60, but teams rarely ever hit that. That was the second best passing night that Minnesota's had all season.
Hansen. Bryant tools it off the block.
A risky swing for Brian up front, trying to go right into the block, manages to catch Grote a little bit off balance on this block as well. Good up from Schnitta in the backcourt just to keep that alive.
Missed time there by Minnesota, and a point to the Terrapins.
Schaffmaster, a backcourt setter, can't go up and take this ball over if she's above the top of the tape.
Bump set from Schaffmaster. And Hansen takes care of it.
Minnesota's done such a nice job siding out at such a high clip. Over 65% side out. That's an insanely high number. That tells you how good the passing's been. In the front line, even if they're out of system, they've done a nice job putting it down.
Short by Gross. Fourth service error for Minnesota. They're still within 2 of set point. Rohrbach has that sail long. Now Minnesota with set point here, looking to go up 2-0 against Maryland. Julia Hansen, also very strong at the service line. Leads the team with 18 aces coming into tonight. Russ denied up the middle. Minity right there. And once more, Minnesota's block. Free ball for the Gophers. Goes to Looker. And she goes right off that block, powering it through. And Minnesota now leading 2-0 on their home court.
Not even the kick save can save Maryland up until this point. Minnesota is suffocating Maryland.
Of her, familiar name, Raven Colvin.
Yep.
Schaffmaster beautifully done with the dump to start off set number 3 for Minnesota.
So important for Melanie Schaffmaster to go up and make her presence known, make sure that the front line for Maryland sees her as a threat.
Dowler looking up the middle to Russ, and that works to perfection.
When Maryland's in system, they can be a really tough team to stop, but their passing just hasn't been good enough to keep the ball up at the net.
For Maryland, it all starts at the service line. Top 10 in the nation. And aces per set, that time too long from Gunter. Alex Acevedo coming in to serve for Minnesota. She ignited a run really created that separation early on in that second set. Just so steady, her first year of full-time college action after redshirting at Oregon last season. Pairs that block once more, but worked well by Schnida.
Schnida's one player that hasn't been afraid of the block up front. Even though it's been big and they've been blocked off the court, she's continued to just swing high right at it, and that's resulted in some kills falling right between it.
Just wedged itself in there. There's Grote going cross court. Looker, a nice pass. And that sets up the kill by Hansen.
Julia Hansen and McKenna Wooker have done a really nice job on the outside in less than ideal situations when Schaffmaster is off the net, either bump setting this ball or if they do get their hands on it, they're doing a nice job putting it away against a double block.
6 kills for Hansen, 8 for Grote. Goes into the net by Polabiak. Maryland ties it up here at 3 as they try to start their comeback effort. They lost set 1 by just 4 points. Then were overmatched in set 2, losing by 10. Sire makes it tough. And Dowler finds the exact spot on the floor for the kill.
Insanely high IQ play from Dowler, recognizing what's happening on the other side. Schaffmaster just running back to get into position after she made this diving play. Really smart decision to throw it right where Schaffmaster was going to.
Dowler looking like she's having fun. Grote on the swing. That'll be a point to Maryland. It says a lot about Dowler, too, for this Maryland team that experimented quite a bit with a 5-2 system as well. A couple matches in a row sticking with this 5-1 now with Dowler.
Dowler's looked much more consistent over the last few matches, now the only setter that Maryland's using primarily.
Hansen tooling it off the block.
That's a situation where Maryland's block needs to be a little bit more disciplined up front. When you know where the ball is going on the outside, those blockers need to have their hands right next to each other rather than making a seam for Hansen to hit through.
Hansen really finding her stride. After a slow start, hitting .353 at this point. Tough serve by Grote. The points will go to Maryland.
Sid Dowler's really making her presence known up front as we have a new middle blocker on Minnesota's side. Callie Eggman steps in. Dowler's really testing her out right away.
Engeman's played limited matches, just 7, has 10 kills in total this season. Minnesota native transferring from Georgia Tech. Hansen again, a beautiful angle.
Hansen is doing such a nice job, even against one of the better blockers in the conference with Anastasia Russ. Going after her, hitting this ball right inside. She turns her right thumb down, and that allows her to hit this cross-court shot.
Looking incredibly locked in right now. 8 kills. That time, though, into the net. Maryland leading by 2. Is Dowler serving. She is too long. 7 service errors for Maryland. A team that we know always going to be aggressive, and it's not just Schnida. Also look at someone like Sire, Williams, Gunter. Also very adept at the service line. Skylar Gray gonna have that sail a little bit too long.
Ooh, that's one. Now we won't see a challenge from Keegan Cook. Overruled. This ball called just out of bounds. Yep.
She thought she got it just on that end line. Serving substitution, who's seen limited time this season, but 4 aces this season. Jonna Spahn now serving for the Terrapins. It's Minnesota working out its substitutions.
Looks like they just didn't catch that libero switch with the serving sub coming in. Getting all our ducks in a row.
And now we're ready. The back row flying in is Hansen.
Hansen making that back row attack look like a front row attack based on where she landed. Flying through the back row. Watch where she lands up front. So much power coming up through.
Her vertical and hang time coming from a background playing or competing in gymnastics as a kid. You cannot underestimate her athletic ability. McKenna Wooker smoked.
Welcome back, McKenna Wooker. Trying to put a hole in the floor on that swing. The power that she has through her arm, just such an incredible up.
When she is fully healthy, it just sounds different coming off her hand.
I mean, she just explodes in the air and just can thump a ball down.
Timeout is called by Maryland, tied up here at 8.
The original call was ball down. Maryland is challenging that the ball was up.
So this is a question of Maryland thinks that that ball actually was off the foot and up. Based on the first look that we saw, it might have touched the foot, but if any part of the ball also touches the floor, then that ball is ruled down. We'll see from this look here, definitely all.
Video showed the ball hit the floor. The call is confirmed. Point Minnesota. Maryland loses the challenge.
So one timeout remaining for Adam Hughes. He was successful on his first brought in set number 1. Unsuccessful here. So it will stay tied up at
that high hand shot, trying to break fingertips with the power that she's bringing through her shoulder. Again, a much better adjustment, even with a well-formed block in front, swinging high.
See adjustments from her too. A lot of speed to start this match. She's been all power since. And overpass for Minnesota. And Grote has got the kill.
Smart shot from Grote with the double block in front, using the same shot that Maryland did, going for the high hands. Really tough to stop when you're just clipping fingertips. That's a well-formed block for Maryland.
Acevedo, the Oregon transfer, back to serve again. So steady from behind the line. Another dig by Schaffmaster.
The defense on Minnesota's side, just incredible. One-handed up from Schaffmaster in the backcourt. Then it's the front line for Minnesota that ends up getting it done. Phoebe Awalea, just relentless.
Blocks for Phoebe Awalea, a new career high, and we're not midway through the third set. Maryland taking the lead back though. Schnitta leading the nation in aces and aces per set. I'm going to give her team a good run. And there's a start.
After you overpass, you have to make sure you're locked in and ready.
Another opportunity for Schnitta. Off the tape, good patience by Hansen. And then snapping it down the line. She made that look easy, that whole sequence.
Hansen did a really nice job varying up her attack up front. We've seen her rip cross court time and time again. This set allowed for her to swing right down the line. She just nips it in.
10 kills for Hansen, leading Minnesota's balanced attack. Sire powering it through.
Maryland doing a really nice job answering for what Minnesota's giving them.
Sire back to serve, second on this team with 17 aces coming into tonight. Up the middle, Engelman. And a net violation will give the point to Minnesota.
This is where Maryland has to play as clean as possible. When you have an edge on a top 15 team in the country, you cannot just start handing them points. The Terps have to play clean from here on out if they want to close it.
It's something that has been a point of focus for this program, playing that 2020 game in practice to try and close things out. Not quite in the red zone yet, but opportunity for Maryland to keep pace here in set 3. Bryant, and the block by Minnesota operating once more.
It's a gift that keeps on coming for the Gophers. Doesn't matter who's up front, they are finding ways to shut down this Maryland offense. Incredible up for McKenna Wooker to feed that front court.
There just has not been an answer for that Minnesota block. 15 as a group. Schnitta, too long. Minnesota has another.
Now all of a sudden, Minnesota 3-point scoring run just as Maryland had that 2-point edge. They were not able to capitalize on it.
Roach, service error, the 7th for Minnesota. Ties it back up once more. This is feeling like the first set where we had 9 ties, 4 lead changes with a 4-point Minnesota win. Bump set, it is Hansen, and she delivers.
When Minnesota needs a point, they are going to Julia Hansen in the front or backcourt, and she's getting it done, hitting that 15-point mark. Hansen just electric. Minnesota up 1.
That's of number 11 USC. A lot of momentum with PJ Fleck in that locker room. Minnesota's block. There has not been an answer tonight.
At some point, Maryland's got to make the switch that we cannot test out the block anymore because it's coming back every single time. Maryland has to do a better job of swinging high because Maryland, they're unstoppable.
Minnesota's previous season high for blocks this season was 14. They have 16 right now. Schnitta answers back with a kill.
Good answer from Maryland, on the other hand, playing toe-to-toe with Minnesota right now.
And that's the interesting equation, Emily. You're getting outblocked 16-2, but you have a chance here to try and take this set 3. On the back row, Hansen right inside.
Minnesota's offense just incredible so far in set 3. 11 kills on 18 swings, no errors, hitting nearly 600. They are electric from the front and backcourt.
And Julia Hansen, just a handful for Minnesota. 1 error on 23 swings. She's hitting .478. Bryant gets the touch. Still a 1-point lead for Minnesota. Callie Engelman looking like she was going to check in. Schaffmaster back set. A block by Sire. McKenna Wooker. That's going to land out. The point to Maryland.
Question of whether this ball was in or out. Initially ruled out of bounds. It's pretty close.
The original call was ball out. Minnesota is challenging that the ball was in.
That is a very close one to try and parse.
A pivotal point in the set, too.
Wouldn't know it looking at the Gopher bench.
It was great. There's another look at it. I mean, from that angle, the ball looks in. Looks like it clips that line on the way out. Based on that look, the ball looks in.
Yeah, the other look, that shadow can be a little misleading. This one I think is a fantastic look. This one is a little more ambiguous.
In order to confirm or reverse, it has to be 100% clear evidence.
The original call was ball out. The video showed the ball hit part of the line. The call will be reversed. Point Minnesota. They keep their challenge.
First challenge today for Keegan Cook and his coaching staff. 1 for 1. That was quite a swing by McKenna Booker too, and she is rewarded with her 6th kill of the night. Still airless on 14 swings for Booker, hitting .429. Her 2nd match back after missing all but 1 set of the previous 6 matches. Shaftmaster getting the terrapins out of.
Crossing into that seam, that's a play that as a libero you have to make.
Grote off the set from Shaftmaster and then pummels it down for the kill.
Minnesota just doing such a phenomenal job completely controlling this front line, both offensively hitting well over 400, 16 blocks, we talked about it all night long. Just those 50-50 balls are doing a nice job putting down.
Schnitta, too long, another point for Minnesota. They're trying to find some separation here late in set 3.
The question is, can Minnesota close? This has been a massive focus for the Gophers of when they hit that 20-point mark, can they do it?
Timeout called, Minnesota leading by 3, open for a sweep at home. Dowler goes cross court to Sire, right there Polabiak. Schnitta chased down by Acevedo. Grote on fire in this match, fire in her swing.
Minnesota has to continue to keep the pressure on Maryland. Now that they're in the red zone from point 20 on, they have to finish taking aggressive swings.
All of a sudden, Minnesota 3-0 scoring run. Dowler going to Sire again. Schnitta right into that Minnesota block, which has been unstoppable.
Make that 17 on the night for Minnesota, and we're not even through 3 sets so far. It is just death by block up front.
Timeout called by Maryland. Minnesota showing off its dominance and celebrating here in set 3. Maryland here in set number 3, 22-17. But later on tonight, Gopher fans especially seeing their top passing defense taking on UCLA at the Rose Bowl. The action kicks off at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Pregame coverage expected to come your way at 8:30. But Maryland here trying to stave off a sweep on the road that could be back-to-back after they were swept by Wisconsin in Madison just last night. And Grote helping her team get to the finish line that much more quickly.
Lydia Grote having herself a night up front. When it matters most, Minnesota's finding her.
5-0 run. Sire has that tipped away. Polabiak flying in. Sire slicing that cross court.
Sire coming up big for Maryland as they try to claw their way back.
9 Minnesota set point there. And Samantha Schnitta at the service line. So tough leading the nation in aces. Sire rejected. Right back to her and rejected once more.
Phoebe Awalea putting Maryland in an absolute phone booth up front.
She has put Maryland's offense into a frenzy. 14 blocks, Minnesota with 18 and match point. Appropriately ending on a strong block. An untouchable performance at the net by Minnesota and a well-earned sweep against Maryland at home.
Maryland's defense just didn't have an answer for what Minnesota was putting at them. Time after time, Minnesota was controlling the pace up front, 19 blocks. Maryland had no answer.
Minnesota back-to-back sweeps in conference competition. We're going to step aside. We'll have more to come here from Minneapolis, the number 14 team in the country. Perfect with a sweep against Maryland and doing it in dominant fashion. A season high 19 blocks as a team in 3 sets alone. Untouchable at the net tonight.